How's it going, folks? Welcome to the channel. Out here in Buena Vista, Philippines, in the provinces of the Philippines. But anyway, check out the scenery here. Here's the rice fields and everything. There's the main highway. The place is just right up there. They're doing some work up here on the road, so it gets. So I came down to this lower part here to where I could get a better, video anyway. I guess what I want to talk about is, or what the video is going to be about, is moving to the Philippines. I've been coming out here now for probably about just over 4 years. After my first year, I met a Filipina. We got married. We have a daughter together. But it's kind of like it's like an I don't know kind of situation. But the more times I come here, the more I feel like that maybe this would be a better place. And there's a lot of reasons for that. Those of you that are watching in the U.S. Maybe can get an idea what it is that I'm talking about. And boy, that sun is bright. Anyway, it's kind of like you're gonna have to get if you're a person that's thinking about maybe trying to make a move to the Philippines, you're definitely gonna have to get your ducks in a row. This is a totally different place, and that could be good for some people and it could be bad. To me, I'm used to it now. I can remember the first time I came here, and I was wondering exactly how I would even make it. There's a lot of patience here. You got to have a lot of patience. If you're going to live here in the Philippines, you got to have that. Back in the U.S., people are a little bit, they're always in a rush. I guess the good would be that, from what I can see, there's not as much crime. The people are much kinder here. They're more courteous. I guess you would have to come here to, kind of like to see for yourself. There's other places too that you can go to other than the Philippines. There's Taiwan, Cambodia, and places like that. I've heard some people that have traveled to those countries and stuff. But to me, when I first came here to the Philippines, that was my idea of what I wanted it to do, or what I wanted it to do, excuse me. And of course, I met my wife online, and it wasn't a dating site, but I met her online, and we talked for quite a while, almost a year before I even made my first trip here to the Philippines. But definitely, if you're somebody who's kind of looking to come here to the Philippines, there are many things you're going to have to try to prepare yourself for, and just heads up, there's nobody at all in a rush over here. They still, in sort of a kind of a way, they still do things by, like, it's still pen and paper here. Back in the States, in the United States, it's like, you got computers and everything like that. Of course, they have computers here, but their system is not even upgraded. And most areas of the Philippines too, like the grid is not all, it's not 100%. You have brownouts all the time and everything like that. It is way much cheaper to live here in the Philippines than it is back in the United States. I mean, it was just like yesterday, me and my wife, we went to go have lunch together. We had our lunch together, and it was like, we got us a pizza, and well, he's getting it too. Hey. And so that pizza together was like, we got a large pizza, garlic bread. She got some kind of chocolate drink, something like that. And I got a great big lemonade. And if you would have calculated it down to US dollars, if you would have broke it down from the pesos to the Philippine peso to the US dollars, that meal together was just under 12 bucks. Bought this motorbike because I really don't see any need buying a vehicle. Just about everyone in the Philippines has one of these things. But I added up my expenses. Well, I guess I lied to you. I got two bad habits. The one other bad habit was, or is, that I would eat out all the time. Sometimes twice a day. And then you add that in with cigarettes. Good God, man, when I added that up, that was like, holy shit. But anyway, I was spending anywhere between, let's just say, $20 a day just on meals, because everything is so high now and everything. I can remember where you could buy a pretty good meal, like, say, well, it's not a pretty good meal, but let's just say Wendy's, for instance. I can remember when you could buy a combo from there for like $10. It's not like that no more. I added all that up. You add up about $20 a day on meals, and about, let's just say $9 on cigarettes. If I were to buy a Marlboro, that's almost 10 grand a year. If you add all that up in a year's time, that's almost $10,000. I'm thinking about that. Now that $10,000 could go to, you know, most of my debt, or it could go to me putting it into something else that's more, you know, more beneficial. That will help me. I could put it in. Of course, I do dabble a little bit in stocks and everything like that. I know how dividends work. I don't know why I don't just take that money and put it in dividends. I could probably double or triple my damn money probably within a year, if the economy gets better like they say it's going to be, which I think that's just a line of, I'm not going to say it here, but you can always tell how the markets move by watching the price of gold and silver go up. Let's just put it that way. Investors know you got to watch what the investors are doing, and you know when to get in the market and when to get out. When they start buying up silver and gold and stuff like that, you know you need to get out of the stock market. If you're looking for something with less stress, less cost of living, I have never seen anybody get in any kind of fights or It's like one blogger said. I wouldn't mention his channel unless I had permission from him, but I'm going to tell you, it's another blogger here in the Philippines. And this is what he said, and I agree with him. It's almost like PTSD. You leave the United States, you come in here to a place like the Philippines, you're almost in shock. And it takes you a while to adjust. And I mean that in a good way, not a bad way. I really don't have anything negative to say about the Philippines other than there are some things that you have to get used to. You have to adjust. But then again, when you spend a lot of time here, like I did the last time I was here, for almost a year, when I got back to the United States, I had to readjust getting back to used to the garbage that I was putting up with in the United States. And every time I come here, I don't ever want to leave. I have priced some of the vehicles here. Excuse me. I have priced some of the vehicles here. And I guess like your Toyotas and stuff like that, they are a little bit less priced. I guess maybe because they're not so far. I mean, the Philippines is not so far from some of these countries where they build these vehicles. And I guess, you know, the shipping cost of those vehicles is probably not as expensive to ship them all the way to the United States. I mean, that's why you go pay, you know, $35,000, $40,000 for a Toyota Tacoma. Of course, here, and they give them different names. It's not even a Tacoma. I believe they call it a Helix. But also, some of the things here about the Philippines, I guess I came to my decision of what I'm going to do, and I'm going to have to get my budgets together and go ahead and start doing my game plan on what I'm going to do and how I'm going to do it. Because I don't think, from what I could tell, like I said, I have came here, this is like my 4th trip here. The longest time I've spent here in the Philippines at one time was just under a year. And I brought over $10,000, and I conserved that $10,000. And just before the year was up, that $10,000 was almost gone. But back in the U.S., it's, you know, you couldn't live on, I mean, if you were to take, I mean, I would say everything in the United States is pretty much damn near double or 3 times more than it is here in the Philippines. Because you know your dollar is worth more here in the Philippines, or your U.S. dollar is worth more here in the Philippines than it is back in the U.S. I have talked to some people who are paying less than $300 rent here in U.S. dollars, and they're living in a pretty decent place. So the lots and stuff like that are pretty cheap here, but you have to be real careful about how you do that, because I heard some horror stories. You got to make sure that all the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted. You got to make sure there ain't no taxes or anything left over on that property, because even though if you buy it and that person sells it to you, you know, you'll owe that taxes on that property. Let's just say they didn't pay taxes for like 10 or 15 years, and they sell you that property. Well, that property will come with that tax, and you'll have to end up being the one pick up the bill. I haven't seen any road rage. I haven't been attacked or robbed. You don't hear, I mean, they do have their murders like they do everywhere, but I mean, you just don't hear about it. Your neighbors always help you out. We live next to people. They help us out all the time, and we return the favor and we help them out when they need it. If you're broke down on the side of the road, somebody's going to stop and they're going to ask you if you need some help. That's just how it is here. Back in the U.S., if you're broke down on the side of the road, you'd be lucky not to get hit. They do have laws of the road. You do have to follow them, okay? But not a lot of people follow them. If you go even look at some of my shorts, my short videos, you will see that most people they don't follow the rules. Just like you might have just seen somebody went by on a motorbike with, I think, 3 people on it, and that's small in some cases. I've seen sometimes where there would be 4 people on it. I think I even seen one time there was like a whole family on one motorcycle. But I've seen people, you know, sitting on top of the cab of a dump truck going down the road. None of that stuff you don't get by with in the United States. Hey, and like I said, the people here, like, they're kind. It's like, yes sir, no ma'am. Of course, I don't expect them to do that, but they don't do it back home where I live. And like every country, you know, it has its ups and downs, like I said many times in this video. Sorry if I have to keep repeating myself, but anyway, this is kind of like actually my first long video that I'm going to be uploading, so I may be doing some editing and everything like that. But the cost of living here, you can comfortably, I would make sure that I have some kind of source of income coming in, and that would be one of the things that I would make sure that I have, because if you don't have that, you won't go broke quick unless you don't bring enough money. How I'm going to plan it is, and I'm going to bring enough money here to where it's going to get us by until my channel is up and going full speed. And I'm going to have all my debts paid. I'm not going to put down a number of what I'm going to bring over here. I know how much to bring over here because I know how much a year lasts. But I'm going to probably triple that or something like that. And I'm going to be making some investments and stuff like that too throughout 2026. And hopefully those will come out strong. I'll even use that money. So, and if it does even better than that, I'll leave some of my dividends in. And then that way, I can just live off the interest. Don't come here thinking you're going to start a business. You'll give up before you even start, because the paperwork alone will cause you anxiety. I haven't tried it. I've thought about it, but after going in deep with it and doing my own due diligence and my research and everything like that, nah, I ain't gonna do that. I'm gonna come here to retire. I don't want to come here to work. So it is true that, like what most vloggers say about, you know, the vloggers here in the Philippines, what they say, if you do it right, you'll be fine. You'll be just fine. Me, I'm already kind of like set in. We've already got a home. Depending on how well I do through 2026 will determine if, you know, if we will build, buy a lot and build, or just move out of the province, or I'm going to stick that money into the house and make it much better than what it is right now. I think it'd probably be cheaper just to do some more work to it, because it really doesn't really need that much more work. I mean, it could probably use a roof and all that kind of stuff, but I'm not going to be spending tens of thousands of dollars to have a roof put on like you would back in the United States. I could probably get a whole roof put on our house for probably less than $3,000. Things are getting a little bit radical in the United States, and it's getting really hard for people to be able to live there. And you're seeing it already. There's many people that have already looking to move out of the United States. They're looking for somewhere else, looking for somewhere else to go. I guess if you were to compare that to here, I mean, it's like night and day. Here, people, they don't really discuss politics. Back in the United States, everybody's so divided, and that's not something that just happened overnight. It's just something that gradually happened over time, and it's just gotten worse and worse and worse. And me, I'm not too political. I mean, you hear even stories of people, even family members, getting divided up over politics, stupid stuff. You see all the time where you could be driving down the road and somebody with no common courtesy at all will damn near run you off the road and not even look twice. You see a lot of road rage. People are getting out of their cars, throwing fists. Now that it's went from that, people pulling out sticks, and now people are pulling out guns and everything like that. And it's just like, it seems like everyone's just like, it's just like they're on the edge or something. There's just not no, people are just a little bit uneasy. I think it may have something to do with politics. It may have something to do with the cost of living. Because, when you're not making, when you're living paycheck by paycheck and you're trying to make it, that can really put you under a lot of stress. Especially if you're working at a job you hate. Just do your research. Watch more videos like this one. There's other bloggers out there doing their thing too, on the Philippines. There's this one blogger. I mean, he goes all over. He's been to Japan. He's been to Japan, Tokyo. He's been to Mexico. He spends a lot of his time in the Philippines. And I think that's because he's got me a little woman here. Because a lot of his videos is, you see her in the video. Just don't hop on a plane and move out here. There's people who've done that and they didn't last long. They end up being homeless out here. Then that can be a real bad thing. Another real bad thing is that every country has their laws. You got to follow them. The laws here are pretty strict, but as long as you follow them, you'll be fine. I've heard of cases where people have done something and they ended up sitting in the jail cell for 3 months before they can even see a judge. By that time, their visas probably already ran out. They're already going to be getting deported, and you can really mess yourself up. So you have to just like living in the United States. Whoever's coming in the United States, you want whoever comes there to visit or planning to live there, you want them to respect the laws and everything like that, which there's a huge problem with that, as you can see. So if you do all that and do it right, you shouldn't have any problems. But that's for people who are thinking about moving out of the United States, or maybe thought about moving here to Southeast Asia. I would recommend coming here for a vacation. Get you a little old place to stay for about a month, you can get an idea of what it's really like here. It's a beautiful place. There's many islands you can go to and go visit. The beaches are beautiful here, and the people are nice, like I said, and you know, it might shock you coming here, you know, because like living in the United States, it's something you're not used to, you know. So I just wanted to share that. So I know this, hopefully this video won't bomb or anything. Several weeks ago, or do a video tomorrow, several weeks ago, my wife, she put in something at in a raffle where we do our most of our shopping for food and everything like that. And she got a call yesterday that she won the raffle, and we won a lechon, which is a roasted pig. So we're going to be picking that up tomorrow. I think it's tomorrow. If it's not tomorrow, it's probably the next day. But anyway, I'll be doing a video on that, of the whole process and everything like that. They're going to be throwing a big thing about it and everything. I know when she got the word last night, she was really excited about it, because the lechon is not cheap. So that's like a lechon is a delicacy here. I haven't one in a while. But anyway, so with that, I'm going to end the video here, and we'll see you on the next one.